Yo, in this video, I'm going to be rating and watching Missfortunedabes video. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I watched this and I did this video yesterday. But as I laid in bed, I just felt bothered. Because in the end, I feel like I didn't slaughter it enough. So that is a bit of a spoiler for this, yeah. But this is because of chime noises and how content creators will lie and deceive just for views. So we are going to take a crack at this video here, have a look, and expose. And rate the guide in general, and if it does what it says. Because I'm tired of people gaslighting and lying about champions, or my champion Twitch, giving false information and just not helping people wanting to learn this champion one bit. Okay. So we're gonna watch this video and we'll go over it and see if anything at all is correct or not. And I'll give you guys my advice on the things that I feel like he did not say at all, and correct the things that he said wrong. So we can actually get a complete Twitch guide for quote-unquote challenger players. So let's get started.
Okay, so this is how to play Twitch like a challenger.
Off the bat though, when you hear the word challenger, like how to play like a challenger, you really expect this to be like some spicy educational video, don't you? And just so it said, I will be reacting to the Chime Noises video too. And we'll be dealing with that one later. I just felt like this is a bit of a warm-up, you know?
In Season 13.
Because imagine, this guy has 90k subs, 50k views almost on this video alone. And some people might watch this video in hopes of learning something. And they got scammed. So my hope here is to prevent that from happening. Jarvis watching this video.
Okay, so this is how to play Twitch like a challenger in Season 13. Twitch is one of those marksmen that is well known for his late game carry potential since he scales so hard with items. But what many people tend to forget...
This is true though, he scales with items really good. So that's no lie.
...is that Twitch is also super strong in lane.
And this is wrong. Twitch, generally speaking, isn't a very strong champion. He just punishes people when they make mistakes by like attacking them, just like Ash would. But pay attention here. Like when does Sai attack? Not at all. Twitch is not focused, and Lulu gets like chunked by Echo here. Has to run out on the tower. And they just completely misplay, but like look at Sai, she doesn't get to do anything. Twitch has done like a million autos by this point. Sai comes in, does 2, 3 autos. And Twitch is chunked. Then she flashes in, takes tower damage. And Lulu kills them. So like this isn't because they're strong in lane. This is just because the enemy team here was just monkeys. They completely misplayed this.
While Twitch loses to hit and run strategies, his damage is really hard to match.
So yeah, hit and run he loses to because that's basically poke champions. So he'll lose poke fights, but he will win extended fights most of the time. Generally because he gets to ramp up his lethal tempo, keep going, and then his E's decent.
When you allow him to get to
But
maximum
that's not the
poison
end of it.
stacks for his E spell. We are looking at the ADC main ways.
Because Twitch has no auto attack like amplifiers like Draven as an example, right? So like it's not like he's exceptionally strong in auto attacking. Like most of the champions are just as strong, if not stronger, over extended periods of time. It's just they choose to like not engage or like attack properly, and they just like run at some points and then just get damage.
In this analysis, who's been
So let's just look at this here. Wasted on the daily, E and E, right? This guy probably doesn't even main Twitch based on the fact that he doesn't even show here as like a challenger player. Second, this is E and E. So even if you get challenger, like I feel confident that I could get challenger in E and E. And yeah.
Challenger and solo queues in Season 11. As always, the link to their profile will be in the description. Twitch pretty much comes with everything a strong solo queue AD carry needs. Not only are your all-ins quite threatening, but Twitch also has excellent wave clear with his E when you use...
False. His wave clear isn't excellent, it's mediocre at best. It's champions like Sivir, Jinx, Misfortune, like all these champions rival or like excels better than Twitch in wave clearing. It's just like okay. But he relies on like champions not be there to be able to auto attack them. Whereas like someone like Jinx can actually use this to their benefit in terms of farming. But like if Twitch gets zoned off, he can't wave clear or do this at all. Like he relies on like having the wave to him, you know. Whereas like champions like Sivir, Jinx and stuff actually use a wave clear to like the strengths. Like they can match like bad matchups because they can just farm from a distance.
You to spread your venom.
Whereas Twitch can't really do that. But if you do allow him to do like this and he gets to auto attack every single minion and apply poison, like sure he'll deal damage to them. But it's not excel. Like he's not very good at it. He's mediocre.
Fast pushing power is vital for lane priority, since you can force the enemy to respond by crashing the minions into their tower. This punishes
like take Saya as an example too, unless I mentioned her. Like she's
for
good
roaming,
too,
for example, while also enabling roams for yourself without sacrificing farm. CS and tower damage are a big deal.
Like Vayne, I think, is probably like one of the only champions, and maybe Kai'Sa, but her Q is like so ridiculously strong, so like I think even her is like rivaled. Unless there's like lots and lots of minions, then Twitch's poison can be like exceptionally good. But if there's like just a regular wave, then most champions are going to be able to clear it just as fast, if not faster than Twitch.
Especially in solo queue.
But just so it's said, like the problem I have with this guy here, he mains Misfortune, right? And he has his obvious bias. And
which means Twitch has a super easy time taking advantage of enemy supports to try to impact other parts of the map. Additionally, it is very difficult to actually punish Twitch for overextending like this, since you can simply enter stealth to escape with relative ease. A tool that is absolutely brutal in solo queue in its own right, by the way. Because as extending like this, since you can simply enter stealth to escape.
It's not a stealth, by the way, it's a camouflage. It's way different. And if Fresh came from behind with Sweeper here, he would not be able to get away. But again, they're just coming from the front, they're making it super easy to get away. If Fresh would have walked around, sweeped, and just walked up to him, he probably has boots to like high movement speed too, and they would have just caught him.
A tool that is absolutely brutal in solo queue in its own right, by the way. Because as a matter of fact, people have a hard time playing around stealth. Warded areas in particular will give the enemy a false sense of security.
No, in high elo, most people respect it, and you're not gonna be able to make picks constantly unless they're like ridiculously stupid. Like most champions respect you, and they're not gonna have a false sense of security unless they're like bronze with wards. And then again, if you have a ping, then you might feel more secure, because again, pings reveal Twitch, right? Let's make that clear. Ping quads will reveal Twitch and stealth.
And in combination with Twitch's pushing potential, you can set up very nasty roams yourself.
And I feel like if this is a guide, you need to make this clear. You need to like tell people that this is how it works. Like it's not stealth, it's camouflage, you will get revealed.
This Echo is Grandmaster, but
yeah, and this Twitch is Challenger. Let's look at this play again. So this isn't a good play by Twitch. This is like so bad. Okay, he has no vision in the bush. He pops ulti, gets one auto attack off. Vlad runs, flashes, and now there's no one here. Like this ult was really bad. Like he has no vision anywhere, and popping ultimate in this situation when they're running away, like especially to auto attack someone over the wall, you know it's not gonna last. Like it's just stupid. This is in retrospect just a waste of ult, and he's just lucky that Echo like misclicked. Because it never should have happened. Like Twitch, like misplayed here.
This Echo is Grandmaster,
incredibly hard.
Mistakes happen everywhere.
So yeah, mistakes happen everywhere. That's true. But the Twitch made a huge mistake too.
But let's now see how Twitch is played in the mid game. And while we watch our challenger Twitch player pressure mid lane tower, you should keep in mind that if you want to have educational league content like this in your personal feed, all you need to do is click the subscribe button.
Feel free to subscribe to him though. I'm sure he makes good content for like Misfortunate champions actually plays, but champions that he has no idea on how to play, especially more intricate ones that rely on like certain mechanics that he has no idea apparently.
Lane is definitely the place to be, since you can quickly roam to anywhere on the map from here.
This is true, but it's just a general macro thing. I've said this in other videos too. One of the better places to be if you don't know what to do is mid lane, because you can react to like any side of the map or anywhere on the map as fast as possible. As opposed to like if you're top side, then you might be able to react to mid lane, but if you're going to react to bot lane, then you're going to be really far away.
In the mid game especially, you need to take advantage of your stealth, so sneaking up on people to ambush them should be your #1 priority. Twitch's stealth is just excellent at punishing.
And even though this is decent, they probably lose mid lane tower. And mid lane tower is like one of the strongest objectives in the game. So the fact that they left no one to defend mid was just stupid here.
However, the biggest upside of your stealth is the freedom it gives you in terms of teamfight positioning. Good players will always try to take the enemy AD carry out of the fight as early as possible, but if you use Twitch's Q correctly, the enemy simply won't find an opening. You can always stay in the back invisible, waiting for the opposing team to pull the trigger, and only join the fight once the engaged spells are on cooldown.
This is really good advice though. One of the few good advices he gives. Like, it's especially good on Twitch to just weigh out certain abilities, like say Leona Ultimate, Syndra E in particular is very good to weigh it out and then go in. Like fresh hook and stuff is fine as long as you know how to position or dodge it. You obviously can still take a risk, but as long as you're fighting like front to back like this, yeah, it shouldn't be a big problem anyway. But it is one of the strengths of Twitch to have stealth and like waiting out these certain spells that you want to weigh out and then going in. One mistake people might make though is that they'll just wait and then before they know it their entire team is dead because they waited like an additional 1 second. Like you need to be very quick on pulling the trigger at the right time here. And sometimes, like, say he opens in the Yon here, like, that might be too late. Like, sometimes you have to sacrifice, like, if everyone on the enemy team is stacked, you know you'll get a lot of damage off, then you might have to just pull the trigger earlier, because you're not going to get them in such a good position later. So it's a really hard choice to make, but it's something you'll figure out eventually.
Many Twitch players make the mistake of trying to sneak behind the enemy, when in reality it is always better to...
False. Okay, I want to make this clear. It's never always better. It's situational. It's good to play front to back, but it's not always better. Sometimes flanking behind, picking someone off like the ADC. If they have like Jinx, Lulu, it's very easy to pick them off if you're like even or ahead. So like just picking off those two people, trading certain times, like as long as you play around your Q timer and you get away to safety again with the right time, it's not always better. It can be good, but you can be in such a position that you open with the ultimate, such as we saw before, and they just run away. And then your entire window of like opportunity is gone, and you're just like a champion with like incredibly small range and no damage at all. Like it's important to utilize your ultimate in every single team fight that you want to have. So like putting yourself in a position where you can like take full utilization and actually get to use your kit properly is what you need to do. It's like in dragon fights, you might have to like go somewhere so when they run away or they go for you, they'll attack you and or you'll get the full timer off, right? Like when you stay front to back, like you might just have one target to attack, and when you attack that guy with the ultimate, then you're gonna waste it because you can't hit anyone else. So it's not always better. This is false, and I really dislike the fact that he said always better, because this will breed idiots, just like the chime noise video, that will think that this is the right play always, and they will just refuse to believe anything else because the guy with a lot of views said that. It's just false.
Position just like any other AD carry. You stay protected by your front line, and the only
now there'll be people making stupid arguments and be like, it's always better, I saw it on MMFTheBest video. No, it's not always better.
That you're invisible on top of that. This way, your impact is effective with other AD carry. You stay protected by your front line, and the only difference is that you're invisible on top of that. This way, your impact is effectively guaranteed. No need to gamble. Now that fight was a crucial turn.
And sometimes you do have to gamble.
Point, since Twitch's solo laners were terribly behind their opponents in gold and items. However, as a result of this clean performance, blue team can go for Baron here, and Twitch's Baron prep.
And take as an example, if you're in the backline, like Vlad can easily pass some certain champions and just get to you. So like by just being in this predictable spot, sometimes can also be bad. Whereas like, if you can pull yourself as far away from Vladimir as possible while also attacking everyone else, that can be a benefit. You have to identify the threats in the enemy team and then play accordingly.
Pressure is naturally high due to being an attack speed focused marksman.
Twitch has every other champion deals a lot of damage to Baron if they're allowed to auto attack it. But someone like Kai'Sa or someone else will deal more damage. See? He says always better. What does this guy do now? He flanks. And he doesn't call this out. This is incredibly bad. Unless they just took Dragon or Baron or something, wasting flash like this for one random kill when you already like clean them up. This is just int. You want to save your flash for like certain like fights like where you can have the biggest impact. Like next fight now, he might not be able to kill everyone because he can't flash forward or like dodge a fresh hook or something and he dies and they lose the next fight, then this kill is irrelevant. But you can't waste your flash like this. This is an ego flash and it's incredibly bad.
So your stealth is one key factor when it comes to teamfighting with Twitch. However, it is by no means unbeatable. You cannot stay camouflaged forever, and when the spell is on cooldown, the enemy technically has a window to punish you.
I like how I still doesn't mention the fact that you have to be careful of pinks too. But he did say camouflage now.
Twitch got another trick up his sleeve. When
Let's
the
hear
enemy
it.
can see you, you naturally have to keep your distance so you don't get one-shot. But you threaten them with enormous damage nonetheless, since you can then take advantage of your ultimate's bonus attack range to still hit your targets while they cannot hit you back. Of course, this is the more difficult approach, since you are
We're
more
not going to comment on
vulnerable,
the random minion attacking our way.
but knowing your exact range goes a long way here. However, you don't have to always look for teamfights with Twitch. Another unique quality he brings to the table is the ability to split push for him.
No, really. Let's take a look at the map here. He's just making up random things. Mid lane is down. Inhibitors are gone there. Like, their team should either be siding on top or bot. But obviously, Dragon is spawning, so the entire enemy team should be bot. Like, one guy could be mid to clear, but it doesn't really matter. One guy can match top lane so they can TP. But in general, their entire team should be a bot lane here. And the other reason why this is good and why Lulu and Twitch can do this by themselves is because in this certain place, if they're really fed, they can actually kill everyone. Because it's very hard to get sandwiched in this position here, and because they're going to come in from the front and just run straight towards you, you're guaranteed to hit them with your ultimate. I've made a video on this before, where and when to fight and how to win with 90 attack, blah blah. I cover this exact situation inside lane, where it's just such a freebie if they all come from one position here, because they just all line into your ultimate and you just get so much damage off. So that is why you go here. Split pushing on Twitch is fine if you're behind and you don't want to do anything, like you can't fight to proceed. Then you, like, your pressure can be like traded. Like you're not used to in team fights, so then you might as well just do some side lane pressure. And yeah, sure. But if you're like ahead and you're controlling the game, then it's kind of interview to do this. Then you want to play for objectives and just further increase your tempo. But split pushing doesn't really do that on Twitch. It's just a way to like get into the game. But considering this guy is supposed to be in the game already and way ahead, then this play here in particular is just because it's one of the better positions in the entire game for Twitch to fight. Because there's no ability for like the enemy team to come from this side here, and they're forced to like come in front of him, just enabling him to do like so much more damage with his ultimate. And again, Velko should have been here too. Jarvan possibly too, should be hovering in the jungle or something, and K'Sante or whoever they had top lane should just match Yon if he has TP, and they just play for Dragon.
There are two
They
conditions.
have Baron here, right? So like, what Velkos and J4 are doing here, I'm not sure. Everyone should have been bot lane here. It's just incredibly int, and it's just so irrelevant what he's saying.
Be safe, and you have to be efficient. Twitch's safety
It's nothing of what's going on here. I just make a video of Lulu like in the side lane. Here we see Lulu split pushing alone because she can do that. No, there's another reason for it.
His stealth, and his efficiency comes from his attack speed items and wave clear. You take towers really fast if unchecked, which means you can have a winning impact on the game without fighting at all. But that would be kind of lame, wouldn't it?
It's like Chime 2, man. They just make a happy noise and just like... they just make happy noises, make things sound cool, and then they just like,
Especially
yeah, this is right.
You don't actually need to run.
But in reality, they just
Instead,
fucking
you
lie
just
out their
turn
mouth.
around and kill anyone trying to challenge
Like,
you.
isn't it disgusting to just listen to
You
this
can
random nonsense that gets said?
Probably
No
imagine,
freaking, like,
but it always
no
makes me
relevancy
super
at all.
happy when I find a replay that is both suited for analysis
You're just gonna have clueless people who actually believe this shit. It's so disgusting.
and reaches the late game. Because then we get to experience the damage potential of an AD carry with a full item build.
Yeah,
And in Twitch's case, the damage is particularly disgusting.
Nice, I was AFK for 4 seconds there. Challenging gameplay, by the way. Challenge you on, by the way. Q's
However, if you want
Wolf's
your
random
damage
direction.
to ever look like this, you first need to know what Twitch's optimal runes and items are to begin with.
Alright, I'm fucking
So
excited for this one.
Here are your best choices.
Okay,
all
my best
play-tested
choices.
in Challenger Elo.
All playtested,
The
okay.
perfect Twitch rune page that should be
perfect.
used every single game is Lethal Tempo, Presence of Mind, Legend Alacrity, and Coup de Grace, with Taste of Blood and Treasure Hunter second.
I'm sure you're gonna say these runes are situational though, right? Like Coup de Grace as an example. Only if you like playing tank builds, because then cut down isn't that viable. And then say that cut down is better, or equivalent at least.
As mentioned, Twitch is an attack speed focused champion, so Lethal Tempo is an easy choice. Twitch has one of the best bonus attacks.
It's not an easy choice though. Like PTA is equal. It used to be much better than Lethal Tempo. Now it's like they're kind of like equal to each other.
Scalings in the entire game,
And that is
yielding
completely
maximum
fine.
benefits from this keystone. It plays perfectly with your Q resets, allowing you to absolutely dominate longer fights.
Triumph also fine. It's just way harder to play around. Like you see Precious, by the way, or someone, they'll play Triumph, and it just means that you don't W the wave as much. You see by Schema early games, like he's not that reliant on it, but most players can't even like survive without doing that. As long as they don't just waste your W all the time, your mana pool should be fine.
While also hunting down escaping enemies.
But it's obviously going to be a bit harder to play. So in most cases, Presence of Mind is fine, or what you should go.
Move speed and Lethal Tempo's bonus range.
Unless you're jungling.
Presence of Mind is another vital rune, as it ensures that you will never run out of mana for your Q resets, while also giving you more access to your crucial early game wave clear. Keep in mind that just one stack of your Venom on an enemy champion grants you increased mana regeneration for 10 full seconds, instead of the usual 4 seconds. The Venom damage refreshes Presence of Mind's duration over and over, making for a perfect combo. Now, Legend Alacrity is the most aggressive.
And Legend Alacrity is just well-bounded. There's no reason to swap it. You're buying Bork anyway.
Many ADC champions prefer Bloodline for more item flexibility, but on Twitch, Alacrity is especially important and too good to pass.
But if you had to go like some Kraken build with like No Blade Rune King, then I would argue and say that you could go Bloodline if you want to just scale a bit. But in general, just going, you're never going to go wrong with Alacrity basically.
Again, your bonus attack speed scalings are one of the best in the game, and snowballing the lane phase is a core aspect of your overall game plan, which means you naturally prefer early game runes either way. Due to that, Coup de Grace is also better than a late game rune like Cutdown would.
Nope. Untrue. If you watch any other streamer now, they'll complain about Coup de Grace being completely useless and how much better Cutdown is, and that is essentially true. Unless you're playing like 98 or something and they have one tank on the enemy team, then you want to take Cutdown. Like, it just gives you like... then you want to take Coup de Grace, but if they have one tank in the team or you're playing full damage build and they have like some people that build HP and like mages, like Roa or something, then Cutdown is going to be better. And that is a fact. Your early game, like later stage mid-game damage against squishes isn't bad as long as you're on 1, 2, 3 items. So you don't need Coup de Grace. I mean, yeah, Coup de Grace, but like your damage versus tanks is exceptionally bad. So that is why you need to like pick up some slack by getting cut down.
Down might help against tanks in the late game,
nope,
but it is
you're an
simply
idiot.
Overkill.
You're an
Your
idiot.
core items on Twitch absolutely destroy tanks.
Damage is overkill. True.
Grass can make or break early skirmishes, which is much more.
Wouldn't want to deal too much damage.
Overall. For the same reason, you also want Taste of Blood.
Taste of Blood is one of the best runes on Twitch. No wrong there.
Venom,
feel free to take that one. Underrated as fuck. It's really good on Twitch. So you always want to take that if you go on domination.
More consistently, but it further adds to your early game power. Yes, you forego a late game rune like Eyeball Collection for example, but Twitch's late game with items is extremely strong either way. As a result, buffing his early laning instead is simply the more consistent choice. Treasure Hunter is finally picked as a way of getting these impactful items.
Yeah, Treasure Hunter is fine, but you can also take Ultimate Hunter. It's just up to you. But you're never going to go wrong with either of them.
Your item scaling is absolutely brutal.
Could be easy to play Treasure Hunter though, and safer.
Items are exactly. Twitch's item build is actually super straightforward, which means even new players will have an easy time here.
Yeah.
The core build is always the same in every
always the same,
so feel free to just copy right away. Your core is Blade of the Ruined King, Berserker's Greaves, and Kraken's.
So this is the point where I had the problem with this video. Okay, this is probably one of the worst choices you can do, and it's exceptionally situational to go this here. Let's have a look here now, okay? On Twitch, the free item build, what did he say? Blade of the Ruined King boots Kraken. Blade of the Ruined King boots Kraken, 49% win rate. You compare that to something like Blade Rune King boots Hurricane, 56%. Way better. Played more. Like, this here is complete garbage. You can play with like PTA if you're playing jungle or something, then it's actually pretty decent. But you need Hurricane second.
Slayer.
Like, where's this LDR here? You need LDR to like amplify Blade Rune King damage, etc. Right? So like, this is so bad. The fact that this guy suggests this, and we'll keep going, but just to give you an idea of how clueless this guy is. Blade Rune King boots Kraken is one of the worst choices you can make. Okay? And even worse with Hurricane, because it just falls so far off. And then Kraken, like Infinity Edge, it's kind of bad. Like, you need... It's a very weird build. But we'll see here, Blade Rune King boots IE, as an example, 361 but high win rate. But we'll continue watching. Just to give you an idea, like, how clueless this guy is.
And now it should also be clear why Twitch definitely doesn't need the rune cutdown to deal with tanks.
No,
Between
it's
Blade
still
of the
not clear
Rune
to me.
King's % health damage and Kraken Slayer's true damage, there won't be a single tank in the game who could ever ignore your attacks. But more importantly, these items are also some of the strongest in 1v1 situations, allowing you to take full
That is true, but if you're playing PTA, it's fine, like assassin pick like build. But for like team fighting build with like lethal tempo, nope.
Of your assassination potential with Q. Now, your late game items are not always as straightforward. In most games, your best options are Runan's Hurricane, Infinity Edge, and Guardian Angel. But many...
So anyone that just straight up recommends GA and Twitch is an idiot, okay? You guys need to understand this here. The reason why GA has such a high win rate is because it's not played that much. But the reason why it's not played that much is because, generally speaking, it's very bad. If you buy for the wrong reason. Like GA on Twitch, like if you open up, pop your ultimate, you die and revive, you're no one. Like you're so reliant on your ultimate that if you die during your ultimate, it's not even worth to come back alive. Just like, I'd rather just stay dead than wait for my ulti again. Like, that's your entire playstyle. Like, you're not gonna walk up and like auto attack Jhin like through the front line and everything on Twitch and kill him in a team fight. You need your ultimate. So in certain situations, you might get your GA because you're gonna do like some YOLO opener and like force everything, and then like your team come in and like clean up. But in most cases, like just amplifying your like 7 seconds a moment, or like however long Twitch's ultimate is, that's what you want to do. And buying GA is so great for that because it doesn't really do anything. Let's compare with like LDR here. If you had this versus some tanks, or like let's even say Collector or BT, it would just be like so much more beneficial. Like BT especially here.
Twitch players make the mistake of buying Infinity Edge before Hurricane, which is
Twitch players make the mistake of buying Infinity Edge before Hurricane. What did you see here? Infinity Edge before Hurricane. You know what I think? I think people make the mistake of buying fucking Blade Rune King Kraken before they actually have any look at what's actually viable on Twitch. I think that's the biggest mistake. Listening to this shitty fucking item build, man.
It's an absolute no-go. Getting Hurricane is mad.
Absolute no-go. Does this look like a... This looks like a no-go. More like a no-go to me. Holy shit.
For optimal team fighting, since it greatly amplifies the value you get from your ultimate. Being able to auto-attack an entire team at once can be game-winning for Twitch, whereas killing...
I'm not even going to comment on this. But your ultimate pierces enemies. So if you can position properly and line 2-3 champions, you don't need Hurricane. If you can attack them all with your one ultimate, and just position yourself and move in such a way that your like auto attacks just always pierce everyone, like Hurricane doesn't really matter that much, and you'll still shred the entire team, enemy team.
Isolated targets.
But Hurricane is nice. It's very nice. That's why it's second after Boots. It's very good. Because it gives you such a spike in early game on like objective fights and stuff.
Is negligible by comparison. Once you have Hurricane, Infinity Edge is of course optimal in most games, but against hyper tanks, you might need the added penetration from a Last Whisper item instead. Anyway, not every game will even reach the late game, but in contrast to that, every single game will have an early game. Playing the early game as clean as possible is especially important on Twitch, as you've seen, and for a full AD carry lane phase.
That is true. But like, just... it's awful. Like, this guy just gets a complete fail for me. Like, I put a C tier, but like, it's just F. Like, it just fails to like mention anything relevant. Gives you like bad item guide, no runes, gives no mention as to why he's doing anything. He has Twitch in the side lane, he must be good. donkey monkey, and that's it. Like, it's just awful. You're not gonna learn to play like a challenger by watching this video. So you'll get more information just going on this page here, scrolling down, looking at the runes. What is good? Like, look here, PTA, right? You click this, boom. Okay, wow, cool. Now you scroll down again, and you see what runes you get. Right, like even like here, right? And then you check your second runes, and you're like, wow, cool. Okay, that's my runes. And then you scroll up here, you're like, what's my winning build? And it's like, okay, nice. And then you click here, you see your scroll path, you just hover over your queue, and you learn more than this video. Like, it's just garbage, man. Like, I don't know how you feel okay just justifying. How do you justify this yourself when you just gaslight everyone watching this video on how to play Twitch? It's just, everything here is just false information. Most of the things shown are just bad. And the information given is just horrible. I'm extremely disappointed, and I hope the people watching this video actually learn something now. And if someone's called Misfortune, maybe you should just consider watching the videos for Misfortune. Because I, as a Twitch player, I'm completely disappointed by this video here. And I think you could have done a much better job if you actually had any idea what you were doing. Or you tried playing the champion a couple of times as opposed to just watching a fucking replay of the challenger play on E&E that means Kai'Sa and what was the one? Estrel? I don't remember. But I'm gonna end it here. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys continue to have good money and Twitch on fit shit like that. And take care. Peace.